What's going on, YouTube? It's James with ChiHammer Fantasy Battle Reports. Got another battle report for you today. It's Buckeyes round number 2 in 2022. Look at all those twos. Buckeyes 2022 round number 2 against a number 2 Orc and Goblin player. Guys, what is going on? How are you guys doing? All the god darn twos. I'm going to try to not say it. I've actually recorded this about 4 or 5 times and I kept on saying God, the other word. And I'm trying to respect my friend Joe Getsy here because I don't want to offend his religion. But so I'm not going to say it anymore. I'm going to try to, but it might slip out. I'm just saying it might slip out because it's in my vocabulary, Joe. I'm really sorry. Anyways, what's going on, guys? So if you guys have watched my first battle report for Buckeyes, we drove out to Toledo, Ohio. Me and my brother, we spent way too much money in Toledo. I came back already, and I was talking to my clients, and my clients are like, "You spent how much in Toledo?" And I'm like, "Yeah, way too much friggin' money." All right, and so, anyways. That's neither here or there. We are in Toledo, and in my first game, I ended up getting a game against Adam Hilton, and there was a lot of paint shaming going on. And you know what? It's real simple. Just to give you feedback, I actually just put up a video. It should be coming up before this video comes up, because it should be 2 videos today. I'm going on vacation. I'm actually going to Virginia to spend time with my girlfriend's family, and so I'm just kind of giving you guys this as a treat as before I leave because I probably won't be back for another week. So the first video I put up was about painting, all right? And the truth is there's 2 sides of a hobby here. There's the tournament side and then there's the hobby side. And I explained this in that painting video as well. You guys should watch the painting video. It's actually pretty informative. But the truth is if you look at the needle should be, more in the middle than on one side or the other, okay? And there's a huge explanation in that video. I'll explain it again in this video about fun, all right? The tournaments, a lot of people like the competition. Obviously, there's like chess tournaments, you know what I mean? In chess tournaments, you don't even have to have painted miniatures. So people play this game like chess. They play it with chess, including random number generators with dice, right? But there's also people who enjoy the hobby. The ninth age has kind of moved away from the hobby, okay, because the game is model agnostic, as some say. I do like that word, by the way, miniature agnostic, I should say. But with that being said, there's no company backing it up. There's no miniature companies that are showing, oh, these are the models you should use or whatever. So it has moved away from the miniature and modeling aspect, okay? That being said, my first opponent had an unpainted army. The needle is pushed towards the tournament side and playing lists that you may find fun. Now, I totally get it. I'm not upset at either of my opponents, Adam or Joe, for not having painted armies. Okay, I am not. I had a fun game regardless, and I enjoy the tournament side as much as the hobby side. Right? It doesn't bother me, but at the same token, I would like to encourage those to paint. I would like to encourage those to start bringing miniatures that are fun to look at and exciting to play against and have good picture quality in my battle reports. All right, guys, paint your minis. All right, I'm going to start putting that. That's going to be my slogan. I'm going to be like, Silva 2022, paint your minis. All right, ChiHammer says so. All right, guys, anyways, sorry, I'm rambling. Guys, let's get into the game. I got a game against Joe Getsy. Joe Getsy, I haven't played in 6 years since Ocon 2016. Okay, they don't even have Ocons anymore. Joe Getsy, I've never actually played a straight up battle against him. Now, Joe brought a extremely fun list, and before I went to Toledo, I got a call from Fergus the day before, and he goes, "Oh my God, the first round I'm playing Joe Getsy, and I'm looking at this list, and I have no idea what I'm looking at." So I said, "Let me look up that list." And what do I find? Joe has an extremely fun list, but it's extremely dangerous and reckless as hell. And that is the exact thing Joe wanted to bring, and I think it is awesome. Alright, so here you go. Here's the list. He has an Orc Warlord General on a chariot. He doesn't really come into contact with much in this game, so I'm not even going to bother with all the extra stuff he has there. He has a Goblin Witch Doctor of Thaumaturgy with a Skull Fetish. He has a Goblin Witch Doctor of Pyromancy with the Heirloom. He has a Cave Goblin with a Crown of the Cavern King, and you're going to see exactly why. You can kind of put together, though. He has another Cave Goblin unit, 45, with 3 Madgets. He has another Cave Goblin unit with the Banner of Relentless Company with 3 Madgets. He has 20 Goblins with Madgets. He has 20 Goblins with Maggots. He has 5 Goblin Wolf Riders, 5 Goblin Wolf Riders, 2 Wrecking Teams, a Great Green Idol, and a 3 Giants with a Wrecking Ball. Alright guys, here's a picture of my army, and basically you guys should know what I have. I'm not going to go over it every gosh darn time. See, I almost said it, Joe. Alright, so I'm not going to go ahead and say, I'm not going to go over my list every time. Alright, so for his spells, I can't see them, but I know he took the Comet, he took Fireball, he took a bunch of other spells. I ended up taking, and this is my advice to Fergus. I said, Fergus, you have your dragon. Fergus plays an elf army. I said, you have a dragon with pyromancy, okay? Use all the pyro spells, except, I know how tempting it is. To take enveloping embers, but you don't need it. You need to kill all these maggots, giants, and wrecking teams. So let's see how I do, and let's see how Joe does, because Fergus, I know how Fergus did. I think Fergus got maybe a 10-10. If not that, he got like a small win. Because if he got a small win, that makes sense because I'm playing Joe. Anyways, because I got a small loss. So, round number 2 against Joe Getsy. I'm going to show you the battlefield. Now, somebody asked me if I could take pictures of the battlefield and why things deployed the way they do, or reform, or yada, yada, yada. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm just happy I get any pictures out to you guys, because a lot of the time I forget I'm in the moment. I'm also playing the game while I'm taking pictures, so I'm trying to focus on things, and sometimes I totally zone out taking a photo. Alright, so I try to take as many photos. I will try to take more photos, but it's just sometimes it might happen, sometimes it won't. Alright, as for deployment, right, this is no longer blind deployment. We're playing in circles. So he gave me the big flanks, but he has the big center, right? I go ahead and I drop everything. I think I take first turn, right? So no, he took first turn. He won the roll off on the first turn. He drops everything to go first, right? So did I deploy like this on purpose is the question. I mean, obviously I deployed like this on purpose. Yeah, he gets first turn. Huh. That's weird. Alright, so I go ahead and he puts the Giants onto this side. I end up putting the K-Pack and Koopa onto this side. I put the Forest Goblins in the center of the board with the other Goblins pew-pewing and Zod behind them, right? I go ahead and I put the Savages, the A-Rock in the corner, and the gameplay is Breakthrough. Now, I don't know why I didn't put one of the Goblin units on the other side and start walking across the table. I don't know why I didn't do that, but I was hoping that the Savages would probably just run through eventually one of these Goblin units, right? I go ahead and I scout my Spider Riders over there, and I do this extremely, extremely thoughtful, because you know what? If anybody is near that unit, they have to pop the Madgets unless he charges me, right? But if he charges me, the A-Rock will eat him alive. He knows that. I know that. Alright, so I put my Spider Riders there, and that's the unit with the Crown of the Cavern King as they vanguard up towards me, and I vanguard up towards them. We're just giving each other a watch out here. He goes ahead and he vanguards his other unit out of the way of the spider, and it's going to start off Joe Getsy's Orcs and Goblins turn 1. Orcs and Goblins turn 1. He goes ahead and he has these giants with wrecking balls, and the wrecking balls are just kind of random moving. He blocks my charge with Koopa by his... Actually, I don't think he did. I think those are just Wolf Riders that ran out of Koopa's view. Alright, over here, he's just going to move. He's planning on getting rid of my Goblins already. He doesn't want me to pop all his Madgets with those Spider Riders. His Wrecking Balls are coming this way. His Wrecking Balls look like giant scorpions. And they start heading towards everything, more or less. As you can see, this is the top view of what's going on his army. He's going to go into... what is it? Magic? Yes, he goes into magic phase. He goes ahead and he does a fireball into my spider riders. I think I try to stop it, but he gets it off and just kills my spider riders. He drops a comet down, and this is the first comet of many comets, okay? And I said, you know what? Have it, Joe. Because, you know, every time I dropped a comet, I've literally had like 5 or 6 comet counters just sitting there, and everybody just walks away from it. So I'm like, I got about a turn or two before this comet comes down, right? Orcs and Goblins, turn 1, ChiHammer turn 1. I'm gonna go ahead, and he left me a flank charge with the with the vanguarding unit. Now, Buckeyes, I am going to charge, by the way, as you can see in this photo. But Buckeyes has they decided to tweak some of the tournament rules to make it more fun rules. The first game had the blind deployment, of course. The second game is you have a messenger. So the messenger is actually a character, and the character is inside that unit of goblins. The character will the goblins on the right, but if the character gets to the other side, it gives you an additional 3 points to breakthrough. All right, so if you get your character across, it even if the other guy gets a unit across, if the character got across, it overrides the other unit getting across because it's worth more. You need more than either kill the character off or win breakthrough, basically. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and charge the A-Rock into the flank here. Now, it's not too far. I think I need like a 7 on dice. I'm going to go ahead and charge here with the K-Pack into the giant that barely went onto the hill. That giant kind of ran forward in front of the pack, and I just saw it as a prime charge suspect, right? As you can see, that's how it goes. The K-Pack gets in, of course, but the A-Rock fails the charge. It was a beautiful charge too. I actually pushed the trolls forward. I pushed the trolls forward figuring you got to release the Madgits. I don't care if the trolls get hit with the Madgits because it's going to do, what is it, 1d6 or 2, I think it's 1d6 or 2d6. It's 2d6. That initial release, but if I land on them, it's worse. So I just rather get them out and not worry about it if I have to charge later, right? Magic, go ahead and get a 6 phase. Go ahead and I do a pyro flow into, I want to say, one of the maggot or the wrecking teams, and I don't have a picture of the damage it did. Go ahead and I give these guys flaming sword. I use my attribute to kill off a couple of these guys. I think Koopa shot at these guys to try to kill some too, but they passed their panic check. The comet comes down, boom, and oh no. Oh no, the comet doesn't come down. My bad. My bad. I did flaming swords onto the K-Pack. The K-Pack demolishes, and I mean demolishes that giant. Just over 7 wounds. I think I did like 9 wounds or 10 wounds. It was ridiculous. With the flaming sword, it was just easy. Just destroyed him, right? Now, I had a chance here to just stand where I was and let the Giants destroy the K-Pack. I understand that, right? But I decided to overrun ahead. If I overrun ahead and he decides to put the Giants into the K-Pack, I already know the K-Pack's going to lose. But the truth is that I rather have the K-Pack lose over there than closer to my stuff. So that's why I overran. I was like, screw it. Whoa! There we go. Alright, over here it's going to start off his turn, Orcs and Goblins turn 2. Orcs and Goblins turn 2, his Mangler, his wrecking team just runs right through my trolls. His 2 giants go into my guys here like we said they would, and basically he starts to move and march everybody forward. The green idol is behind everybody. He doesn't care. He doesn't charge anything. He's just going to release some Madgits. That's how it looks over here. Magic, he gets a 2 on the flux, goes ahead and drops another comet, and I'm just, again, I let it go because I'm trying to stop other spells that I think are going to be more important at the time. Alright, as that goes, though, the first comet goes, oh no, he does smite the unbeliever. I did try to stop this spell, but he rolls like, I think like a 9. I ended up rolling like 3 dice and getting like a 2, 2, and a 1 or something stupid. He releases the Madgits. As he releases the Madgits, the comet has not come down yet, and they start flying around. As you can see, he put 2 in front of the A-Rock. He put a bunch into the trolls. He ends up killing off 2 trolls. Actually, he does 4 wounds to a troll there. Yeah, he does 4 wounds to a troll, kills off one of them, and you can just see the board is littered with maggots everywhere, just everywhere. The board is littered with them. I'm like, there's everything is a death trap. Anything I try to charge, anything I try to do, it is a death trap. All right. Over here with the flaming swords, I end up doing a wound to the right and a wound to the left. I think I end up doing 2 wounds. Yeah, I did 2 wounds onto one and 1 wound to the other. But he's gonna go ahead and destroy my K-Pack. He chases him down. I think I actually had like 1 wound remaining, and I run this way, and he ends up chasing me towards Koopa, and he's hoping to get pretty close to Koopa to do what he can do in damage. Let's go start off Orcs and Goblins turn 2. Orcs and Goblins turn 2. ChiHammer turn 2. Now, I am not charging shit. I swear to God. I think Koopa charged the dogs, and I think he still passed his panic check. But I just like, whatever. Koopa has to get rid of these dogs. The Giants are random movers anyway, so I really can't get out of like charge arcs or anything. They're going to come. The one thing that I have going for me is Koopa has a fast initiative. Koopa has agility 5. The Spider's agility 4. If he does any wounds to me, I'm going to have a chance to kill him before he kills me. Not really. Kill him at the same time, right? Anyways, but I passed my frenzy, and I'm like, I am not going anywhere with these guys. And the A-Rock does not charge anything because I don't want to get hit with 3d6 strength 5 or 66 strength 5 impact hits there. But as you can see, let's go into magic. Well, first off, there's the table. Still these maggots just like spinning around, right? Magic, I go ahead and I do a fireball into his mangler, end up killing off the mangler. Nobody really cares, nobody panics. Pyroclastic flow into one of the giants, end up doing, this is the giant closest to Koopa, end up doing 2 wounds onto it, which is huge. The comet does come down. The comet comes down and it clears out the battlefield of the mangler, or the fanatics that were in the center by the savages. It does kill a troll. It does kill off 4 goblins. End up killing off 4 savages. It could have been a lot worse. And honestly, Joe did my job for me. He ended up getting rid of all his fanatics in the center of the table. I'm going to go ahead and shoot my web launcher into this unit, and I just web them. I end up killing off like 6 or 7 guys, but they have dangerous trains if they want to charge into the flank of the trolls, which is going to be fun. And over here, we're going to go to close combat. Close combat, I think my trolls did charge in, I think, apparently. I end up killing off a bunch of these guys, hoping that they just fail that re-rollable 8 because of fear, right? But he passes. He holds his steadfast. He actually does a couple wounds back to me because I have that. He lowered my toughness, so that's going to suck. He's going to hold steadfast. I'm going to be stuck there. I think he's in the front on the left, but on the flank on the right. Let's go to Orcs and Goblins turn 3. Orcs and Goblins turn 3. He's going to charge in. One unit comes into the front. The other unit doesn't move because he's webbed. Get out of here, antivirus. So he goes like so. All right. He charges the giants towards Koopa, and one gets in, but the other one falls really short, which is just straight up luck for the fat fuck over there. And then over here, one of the fanatics runs into the wall, and the other one is just kind of bouncing around over here out of the way of the spider. So that's how the table looks over on this side. The Green Idol's moving forward, and yep, that's how it is over here. Let's go to Magic. Magic gets a 1 phase, and not much happens in Magic. I think he tries to put another comet down, and I either let it go or I stop it, but that's really it. I think he does do some, he didn't do Smite the Unbeliever again. He might have gave his guys a buff, but I don't really know. I don't have the picture for it. Over here, close combat, Koopa gets wounded twice, but Koopa kills that freaking giant, and now Koopa is looking at the other giant, and it's going to go ahead over at the combat with the trolls. The trolls end up just killing off more goblins, but basically I'm just sitting there grinding the goblins down. He's still holding steadfast. He's still putting wounds in through my trolls. I haven't ran yet. Alright, so let's go start off Orcs and Goblins turn 3. Orcs and Goblins turn 3. ChiHammer turn 3. I'm gonna go and charge into this giant, and I'm like, Koopa, you have to do. After I charged, I was like, oh, this could go really bad, because if I leave that giant with 1 wound remaining, he's gonna just rip me apart. I'm like, ugh, that's actually really bad. Why did I charge this? But Over here, I don't know what's going on over here. I don't think I even charged yet. I take that back. I think this is just a combat resolution. I think he just charged and I just killed the guy. He did 2 wounds. Over here is the picture of the trolls. Trolls kill off a bunch of guys. Now it starts off my turn. Orcs and Goblins turn 3. Orcs and Goblins turn 3. ChiHammer. I go ahead and I wog! And as soon as I wog, Joe goes, oh crap, I forgot that there's a wog. I was like, okay, well, you get a wog too. Anyways, so I charge the A-Rock into these Wolf Riders. I wanted to do exactly what they did, which is I want them to flee. If they don't flee, I hope to kill them because he has his wizard in that unit. He had another wizard, as you can see. The wizard's actually hiding behind the green idol. Ran away. That's the one that's cast in the comments back there, right? I charged the savages into a small unit of 20 guys that were coming up on the breakthrough, and I figured if I get over there, I'm going to have the savages in a very favorable position to keep going, more or less. He decides to flee with both units, okay? So the dogs flee, and I fail my re-roll to redirect. Okay. Ugh. And I think that doing so, I think the A-Rock would have been able to get into the flank. I think I would have been able to get into the flank anyways. It might have been a front charge. But I wanted to get rid of the wizard. That's what it was. But he fled anyways. Alright. Savages failed their charge, obviously, because his goblins ran into the middle of the field, as you can see over there. I'm starting to move my goblins over that way to start going for the breakthrough. Okay? Which I should have done a while ago. The Koopa does go into the giant magic. I go ahead and I give Koopa flaming swords, but I lose the spell because I rolled triple 3s on 5 dice. He lets it go because he wants me to get rid of flaming swords. Alright, because he figures against the green idol. That's the worst that could happen to him. So, I get it off on Koopa, and I was, like I said, I was thinking, like, oh my god, if Koopa doesn't do this, Koopa gonna die. Koopa gonna die to that giant, right? So, I'm glad I got it off. The other comet comes down. Boom! Blast a hole through my savages. Look at that. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 savages are dead. He kills a shit ton of goblins, but who really cares about the goblins dying? I don't. Alright, this combat over here, Koopa does do his job. Kills another giant and starts to overrun towards this fleeing unit of goblins. Alright. Over here, the trolls do lose the combat. He has banner, BSB, Legion standard, ranks, charges. I do a couple. I might have killed 4 dudes, 5 dudes. I don't remember. But I'm starting to lose because I just lost too many bodies. The trolls start to run, and they run towards the table edge. But they're still on the table edge. If I had that back rank, I would lose them. But I didn't have the back rank, so they stay on the table edge. And just spoiler warning, they do rally. Alright. Let's go start off. Orcs and Goblins turn 4. Orcs and Goblins turn 4. He wogs! And oh my god. Oh my god. This is going to get ugly, right? He's going to charge the idol into my savages. He's going to charge both goblin units into the savages. He charges the other goblin unit into the A-Rock and his general into the A-Rock. His general needs like a 9. If his general gets in, the spider's just going to lose. His general's strength 6 with rerolls with blessed inscriptions. And he has impact hits, of course, and the guy on the boar is strength 7 on the charge. And it's just going to be ugly. I'm going to lose the A-Rock, and even if I live, I'm only a stubborn 6. My general's nowhere near. I was, like, driving my general around, like a little freaking go-kart, like one of those carts from golf, like beep beep, because I was just trying to avoid comets. Like, oh, there's more comets over here, there's more comets over there, right? so my general's nowhere near the A-Rock, all right, and he's gonna charge in over there, and I'm probably gonna lose the A-Rock if his general gets in. All right, so boom, over here, everybody gets into the savages. I'm like, oh my gosh, I said gosh. All right, over here, boom, his general fails the charge. Woo, woo. A-Rock's gonna have field day killing some goblins. Now, we are playing in circle, so right now this unit has the messenger, and the messenger is in my end zone, in my field. So I have to kill the messenger. I have to kill this unit with the A-Rock. The good news is it's goblins. I should be able to do it, right? Magic, he gets a 4 on the flux, goes ahead and he does Smite the Unbeliever, lowering my, I want to say it was whatever the 3 was, so it's either strength or toughness on my savages. Over here, there's no shooting, let's go into close combat. His Thaumaturge does try to hide, because I think I hit him with a fireball before, so his Thaumaturge starts to run behind buildings. You'll see it in a second. But over here, close combat, I just demolished, like, a bunch of goblins. His goblins, I might have done a wound to the A-Rock, but basically he's holding steadfast. His general's right there. The A-Rock's going to be stuck in this combat for quite some time. All right, over here, close combat, the savages end up killing off a bunch of his goblins. I was just worried. I figured my best course of action is to kill goblins. Okay, the more goblins I kill, the less I have to deal with the idol, because the idol crumbles to death when there's not enough belief. If you don't believe enough, the idol starts to die. All right, so I'm just like, kill goblins, kill goblins, kill goblins. But I do poke a wound or two into the idol. But he is gonna win combat. He has charged rank spanners. The idol, you know, he's just killing my savages. But it's gonna start off my turn. Orcs and Goblins turn number 4. Orcs and Goblins turn 4. I'm going to go ahead and charge! Zod! Zod is going into the front. Boom! Right into there. Yeah. My forest goblins are moving around, trying to just help out what they can. I'm going to start shooting whatever I can. I think at this point you can see the goblin is hiding behind the building, and then the other pyromancer is over there on that side. So Koopa did charge down the unit that was fleeing. I just chased him off the table, but he caused a panic on my goblins, and I think my goblins blew up from the comet, and they panicked, and those goblins ran backwards, and they ran off my way off the table, and that sucks, because now I can't get the objective. I just cannot get the objective. That comet just blew up my goblins. All right, so what I'm going to do on my magic, I go ahead and do a Scorching Salvo. I end up putting up a couple wounds onto that Thaumaturge. That Thaumaturge is now my target for my BGKs and Bazooka. Baxter. Alright, that is my target. The other units I don't care so much about. The other units way too far out there. I think it's just outside of 24, maybe like 30 inches. Right? So I go ahead and I burn a couple wounds. My general ends up taking a wound from the spear, from the spearman. Of course he would, because that's what goblins do. They're always like, oh, you're tough, whatever, with a 1-up armor. Boop. There's a wound, right? But my general ends up just wrecking goblins. He ends up losing this combat pretty bad. Now, he is not steadfast on the unit on the left, but he is steadfast on the unit on the right. He's going to stick that steadfast, but at the same time, his big green idol loses steam and starts to crumble and die, and so does the unit on the left, as Zod just overruns that way and just kills off the unit. I'm still stuck there in combat with the savages. I have to kill this unit. I have to, or else he's going to start getting the objective. I believe they're in the tip of my encircle as well. Alright, over here for close combat, the A-Rock is just ripping apart more and more goblins, but he is still holding steadfast, and it's going to go ahead, and this is how the table looks at the end of this turn. It's going to start off his turn. Orcs and Goblins turn 5. Orcs and Goblins turn 5. I think at this point we're actually running out of time in the game, so I think this is our last turn. If not, we'll find out in a second. Alright. He tries to charge in again with his general, and his general fails the charge a second time. A second time. And that basically really helps me out, really. As he moves his Wolf Riders back there. I don't even know why he moved his Wolf Riders right there. There must be a reason, okay? His other guy starts to run behind the building, and figuring he would just save himself from the Pyromancy and just stop the Scorching Salvo. Magic, he goes ahead and gets a 8 on the flux. Goes ahead and drops another comet. I don't really care at this moment. I'm just going to run away from that. And then it's going to start off my turn. Orcs and Goblins turn 5. Orcs and Goblins turn 5. And that's why there's less pictures, because we're running out of time. So I'm just trying to like, okay, let's move. Roll the dice, right? So my turn. Orcs and Goblins turn 5. Orcs and Goblins turn 5. Cooper runs around the building and shoots bows into that one Thaumaturge. Koopa, you fat fuck, kills that guy. Oh, I love Koopa. You're such an asshole. Alright, over here, the A-Rock wins the battle and doesn't cause a panic, but he does not have a unit in the end zone. I think the Savages did the same, and that is the end of the game. Guys, there's a video coming up soon showing Joe's take on the game. I gave Joe the best sport out of all the people I played. Joe, he's an extremely funny and fun guy. He's extremely creative. I would just love to see that creativity in paint. Joe, paint your army. Paint your minis. ChiHammer 2022. All right. But guys, this was a really fun game. It was. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know from the get-go that maggots, fanatics, manglers, wrecking ball giants, all of that. I do know because I'm an Orc and Goblin player that they're unreliable. That sometimes they do some damage, sometimes they don't. And it literally put me in lockdown. I couldn't move once that started, so I just figured, I literally turned the A-Rock into a web launcher. I was like, well, I'm not going to be really doing much. I'm just going to go ahead and shoot my web launchers. Right? Outside of that, my ring rust was apparent in the breakthrough scenario. I didn't even read the rules about this guy who's supposed to get across, and that's my fault. And his guy was being a pain in my ass, really. His mobility with his two wizards on wolves was really annoying. Granted, he did lose them eventually. He lost one of the two. But in a scenario where somebody has like archers or what's the word I'm looking for? Dedicated sniping units, that unit is in danger. Excuse me. The game would have been extremely different. It would have probably been a small win for him if his general got into the A-Rock. I think I would have lost that entirely. And I think that's what we talk about in our video here. But that's my feedback, guys. As for my tournament, how it's going, Zod only got 560 on this game. Koopa ended up being my MVP for this game, taking out 2 giants and a wizard and a whole unit that was trying to break through. Koopa, you fat son of a bitch. Mwah. Koopa's just running off with the points in this whole tournament. I literally said it at the end of the tournament. I was just like, wow, Koopa really beat the shit out of things this game. These 5 games. Baxter got 522. Bazooka, apparently I'm not really recording what Bazooka's doing properly, which is the Goblins. And something that I found out after the 5 games, again, this goes back to the ring rust, is the unit that Baxter's in is quick to fire. I totally forgot that they're quick to fire because of the Mazappa. So I think that's kind of why nothing's really happening with Bazooka's unit. The A-Rock taking out 575. Savages took out 675. Trolls only did about 220 damage to the Goblins. The Bowmen really didn't do much. I think I might have picked wounds and I didn't really record it well. The Spider Riders did nothing, and the K-Pack took out 1 giant as well as a couple wounds onto other giants. Alright, guys. So right now the big leader is Koopa, and then followed up by the Savages and Baxter. Guys, I hope you guys are enjoying this video. I'm going to leave you guys here with another video from Joe Getsy. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I got to get ready because I'm leaving to Virginia in like a couple hours. Alright, guys. Take care, and peace. Recap on how did you think the game went, and your take on it, because everybody hears my take all the time.
Right. So we got a bad map for my army. I had the gimmick of gimmicks. It was cool to get all 8 fanatics out at once, but once that comet took them out, it was basically just how long can I hold out, and that failed general charge did me in. I think if I would have got that charge, it would have swung things.
Twice with the giant, or the general.
It would have swung things from what were we, like 16-4?
Yeah, 16-4.
Probably would have swung things at least to an 8, right?
Easily. Well, I think you would have the 16-4. You would have killed the spider, which is 500 points. You would keep that unit. You would keep the objective.
Yeah, it would have been a hard swing. It might be a 10-10, 11-9 my favor.
Yeah.
But, that's dice. And My dice treated me well otherwise. A million comments went off.
Oh yeah, that was a lot of comments. I just kind of, honestly, I was kind of just letting the comments go because I'm like, they're gonna come or they're not gonna come. You know, and
your units had the bodies to deal with them.
Well,
you didn't have like small units of like cav and stuff. So
yeah. Well, part of my play style is mobility.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, I saw the comment, I'm like, all right, let me get out of the way, right? If I could.
No, I had fun. I had fun. Things could have went differently, but I'm happy with where they landed. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed playing this guy. I haven't played him in 6 years.
Oh yeah.
Since Ocon.
Just more gimmicks.
2016 or something like that.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
So, all right,
cool.
Man.
Enjoyed it.
I enjoyed playing your professionally painted army.
Oh yeah.